Okay, so now moving on to the usefulness. Now, usefulness is slightly similar to reliability. The only difference is that for usefulness, make sure that you know that all sources are useful. Because what is usefulness? Usefulness is what the source tells you about a particular topic, right? What new information can you gain about the topic from the source itself? So in a way, all sources are useful. Whether they are reliable or not, they will still tell you something about the topic, right? So how do you do a useful question? Always start with useful first. So again, I say please ATQ, say is useful, then tell me what perspective. In this case, is talking about Soviet perspective, right? Example. So source A is useful in telling me the Soviet perspective in the Korean War, right? After you've done your ATQ and tell me which perspective is it, you find the perspective by looking at the provenance of the source, of course. Look at the provenance of the source to find the perspective, right? Then you state your inference tells me Americans were the aggressors. Again, I have my clear topic here relating to the main issue of the whole source-based case study is that who is the aggressors in the war. Now here you tell me it's the Americans, right? Then same thing, do give me an evidence, give me an explanation, and finally repeat. Thus, the source is useful in telling me that Soviet perspective is that the thing. So always conclude the paragraph. All right. So the second paragraph is when it gets a little bit tricky. You can either do useful, you can continue to do useful by telling me how another source supports it, or you can do not useful by telling me how another source contradicts it. Alright, or how your contextual knowledge contradicts it. So how do you do a second paragraph? Again, start with the word however if you're doing contradiction. So however, the source is not useful in telling me that Americans were the aggressors. Right? Repeat inference. I cannot emphasize this enough. You have to repeat your inference again. Not useful in telling me Americans were aggressive. Finally, you state why. Why is it not useful? If you're doing cross-reference for usefulness, it has to go hand in hand with reliability. So it is not useful because it's contradicted by another source on my CK, making it unreliable. Usefulness and unreliability must go hand in hand, right? So useful plus reliable or not useful and unreliable, okay? Then you tell me the opposite thing. B tells me that Soviets were aggressors in the Korean War. Okay, take notice, like all reliability question, make sure there's a matching criteria. The criteria is who is the aggressors, because this is what I said in here. Okay, let me use another color, red. Were the aggressors in the war, right? So now you're telling me the same topic, the aggressors in the war, but different inferences is that now it is the Soviets. Okay, so please keep it short and sweet. Make sure you're talking about the same topic. Alright, then give me evidence, explain of your next one. And finally, your conclusion, again, very crucial. If not, whole paragraph is wrong. Thus, as B contradicts A is not reliable and hence not useful in telling me what it is telling me. Alright, so that's it. And the final paragraph, again, is not useful because it's unreliable, because it has a motive. So same like all reliability questions, tell me about the motive, right? And then do the same thing again, which is tell me what is the motive. Why does he have this motive? Because of because of who he is. What is his role in the context? Who does he support? What do you expect him to support? Right? And how does it make it unreliable? So refer to the previous video on how to do this properly. The only thing you're changing is from surprise, now you change it to useful. Okay? So that is how you do useful question.